Section 3B, find the variance and standard deviation. Now variance and standard deviation are directly related. So for example, if I can find the standard deviation and I square it, I will get the variance. So the variance is the standard deviation squared. And we're going to spend most of our time calculating standard deviation. So once we find that, all we have to do is square it, and then if you do that, you'll get variance. Now standard deviation, in a nutshell, is measuring the average deviation, or how much things are different from the mean. So we're going to show you how to calculate this, and you can use a calculator to do this, or else do it by hand, and I'll show you how to do it by hand. That's why the number sets are small. The first thing you have to do is find the average. And if you add up all these numbers and divide by 5, you'll get an average of 7. In other words, the mean. The symbol for mean is X with a line above it. Now what we do is we take the difference of all these numbers to 7. So if I take 7 and I take away, and I find the difference of the two, so I will take the average minus the numbers. So 7 minus 3 is 4, and I square it, I get 16. I take 7 minus 6 and I get 1, and I square it, and I get 1. 7 minus 1 is 6, and I square it, I get 36. 7 minus 12 is a negative 5. I square that, and you'll always get positive numbers, that's why they square it. We get 25. 7 minus 13 is a negative 6, and I square that, and again we get 36. So that is taking the difference, you square them to get a positive number, and now we add them all up. If you add them up, you get 114. And we take that new number, we divide it by how many numbers we had, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that number is 22.8, and this represents the variance. If we square root that, we get 4.77, and that is the standard deviation. And basically it tells us that when we have numbers that are far apart, you have a large standard deviation. If they're very close together, then you have a very small standard deviation. So it gives you an idea of how spread out the numbers are.